Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany and welcome. If you're returning back, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about goal setting. It is that time of the year. Yes, it is the holidays, but as side hustlers, solopreneurs, it is also the time of year that we begin to set our goals for the new year. And I wanted to go ahead and just provide you guys with a few quick tips that I am actually using this year to plan my goals for 2023, and I thought that they would be able to help you as well. So let's get started. Number one, you want to do a brain dump. You want to get everything out of your head so you can see them on paper. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to make sense. You just want to get everything out of your head, anything and everything that you have thought of that you would like to do within your side hustle. You want to go ahead and get all of that out on paper, because once it's out there and you get to see it, now it's like, okay, now I have to deal with it and work with it. And one of the things I know for me that I'm definitely trying to do is stop living goals in my head, meaning, oh, I want to do this. This sounds like a good idea, but it stays in my head and I never write it down. Or if I write it down in a notebook and completely forget about it. So you want to do a massive brain dump, and you want to also, before I forget, when you do this brain dump, get a notebook or a Google Doc and call it goal setting, 2023 goal setting, because you want to keep all of them in one place. Don't be like me and have goals in one notebook over here, goals in a planner over here, goals on a sticky note over there. No, you want everything to go into one area. You want to have one designated area that you get to work on your goals, and just call it goal setting. And that way you will have everything in just one place. So number one, you want to do a massive brain dump. Number two, you want to group like goals together. So you want to categorize them. So if you have personal development goals, financial goals, this will help you with beginning to map everything out and see what kind of connects to what. You can do this for your personal goals as well, because what I'm learning is that sometimes your business goals are also attached to your personal goals. So for example, I want to save for retirement. Well, bringing in extra money from my side hustle will help me build my retirement fund. So different things like that, because it's how much do I want to put into my retirement fund, which also will help me figure out, well, how much do I have to make next year in order for me to put into my retirement fund. So you kind of want to categorize everything so that you have a better idea, and now you have some form of game plan for you to utilize your goals and begin to map those out. So number two, you want to map everything together. Number three, and this is one that I've never thought about before, but listening to an amazing business coach that I listen to all the time, she said, ask yourself, what is your capacity? And I think this is where I know I get stuck, and a lot of you probably get stuck as well. We put our goals in place and we think that we're capable of doing them right now, meaning we don't have the capacity to do goals that, say, someone in year 5 or 6 can do, because one, they have a team around them, or they have the time around them that they can do a goal. Right now, we have to figure out what is our capacity. So for example, I'm a service-based business, so I would have to ask myself, what is my capacity around servicing clients? Is it 1 client a month? Is it 6 clients a year? Is it 2 clients a month? What is my capacity? Because I have to also keep in mind I have a full-time job and I'm a part of 2 other organizations, and all of those kind of take up my time throughout the month, and of course the job every day. So we want to know what our capacity is, because this way it will help us stop from being overwhelmed all the time, because we think we have a capacity of someone that's 5, 6, 7 years in, when we're not focused on what our total capacity is right now. And as our capacity begins to free up, then we'll be able to add on and get to where that 5, 6, 7 year person is today, we will eventually get there. So we want to figure out what it is your capacity. This also even means how many goals do you want to accomplish along with your capacity. So your capacity, you may not be able to work on 5 or 6 goals. It might just be you're focusing on 1 or 2 goals for the year. And that's okay. We don't have to do 11 goals right now. We want to make sure that we're not overwhelming ourselves. We are not taking on too much than what we have to do, what we can do at this current season in our life and in our side hustle business. But just knowing that starting there and finding out now what our capacity is will help us in the long run, because as we grow, now we're able to make room for additional capacity down the line, however that might look to you. So number 3 is, what is your capacity? And last but not least, you want to determine how often you want to check in with your goals. Do you want to check in with them monthly? Do you want to check in with them weekly or daily or quarterly or semi-annually or annually? How often do you want to touch base with your goals? You want to plan for that as well. So in your planner, in your Google Calendar, in your iCalendar, you always want to set time aside for however often you're going to touch base with your goals. You're going to want to set time aside, 15, 30 minutes, just to see where you're at, gauge what's working, what's not working, what may need to change in the next month or quarter, so that you can move forward accordingly, so that you can stay on track to reach your goals. This will also help with doing things at the last minute, which I have to work as well. And also, it's also making a promise to yourself with the goals, touching base with them. Because if you don't touch base with them, you don't know what you need to change. And you also want to also know that your goals can be flexible in the sense of when you're touching base with them, so that way, if you have to make any necessary changes, you can do that. And for me, I will say I will probably be touching in with my goals on a monthly basis, just so I can kind of first get a kind of gauge of what I'm doing, and making sure that every month I set time aside in order for me to figure out and to touch base with my goals, so I know what's going on, and to measure where I'm at now and from where I'm started. So keeping that gauge as well. So to recap everything today, it is 1, you want to do a massive brain dump. It doesn't have to look cute. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be as messy as you want it to be. 1, you want to group like goals together. You want to categorize them and make sure that you put them because sometimes we may have 3 or 4 goals that are the same thing, but we're just writing them a different way. Number 3, what is your capacity? This is key. What is your capacity for your goals? We don't have to do all 11 goals. And remember, where we are in our years 1 and 2, we cannot compare ourselves and our goals to someone who's 5 or 6 years in, because now they have made the space and the capacity to do those type of goals, to where we haven't even built the infrastructure to have that capacity to do those goals. And last but not least, you want to determine how often you want to check in with your goals. Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it annually? Is it semi-annually? And you want to schedule time on your calendar, whether it's paper or digital. You want to schedule time on your calendar so that you keep that appointment, so that you can always stay on top and check in with your goals. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of my video for Vlogmas, and let me know in the comments, what do you use when it comes to goal planning? What tips do you have? Because I'm always open for tips as well. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow in the next Vlogmas video. Bye guys.